just simple sweet corn pieces fried to a crisp, yet they created history with a snack empire worth tens of billions of dollars. This is the legendary story of Cheetos, the orange cheese king that has kept the world hooked on crunchy addiction for nearly a century. So have you ever wondered, how are over 1 million tons of Cheetos produced every year, spreading across the globe and landing on shelves from New York to Tokyo? The magical journey of Cheetos begins with sweet corn kernels, carefully selected and processed using modern technology combined with human craftsmanship. From there, they enter the production line, where tiny corn sticks are transformed into a crunchy cheese snack icon adored worldwide. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we step inside some of the most advanced factories and uncover the secrets behind the irresistible crunch of every bag of Cheetos. Everything will be revealed right in this video. Few would guess that a mishap in a popcorn factory in 1940 would mark the beginning of the Cheetos empire. During a test run of an extrusion machine, engineers accidentally created strange, puffed corn sticks, light, airy, and incredibly crunchy. But the biggest twist came from Richard Montañez, a Mexican janitor who boldly sprinkled chili powder on the snacks, giving birth to flamin' hot Cheetos. That daring idea didn't just skyrocket sales, it propelled him from the guardroom to the executive ranks of Frito-Lay. Mention Cheetos and you can't ignore Chester Cheetah, the ultra-cool sunglasses-wearing cheetah draped in blazing orange cheese. Few know that when Chester debuted in the 1980s, he was initially rejected for being too rebellious and not child-friendly. But it was precisely that wild, rule-breaking persona that helped Cheetos break through, just like a cheetah smashing limits in seconds. Cheetos aren't just cheesy, crunchy snacks. They might even save your life in the wild. Thanks to their airy texture and high oil content, they ignite like dry kindling, making them perfect for starting fires and keeping warm in emergency survival situations. To fully understand the intricate journey behind every crispy Cheetos stick, we must begin at the very source, the special corn seeds planted into the soil, ready for a high-tech transformation powered by sun and soil. Across the vast fields of the American Midwest, a region blessed with dry, sunny weather ideal for starch-rich crops, giant John Deere tractors lead a fleet of precision farming machines. Modern multi-row planters move across the land, simultaneously opening furrows, dropping seeds, applying fertilizer, and covering the soil, all in a single pass. The seeds they sow are a specific type of hard yellow corn, a hybrid variety developed exclusively for Cheetos. These kernels are high in starch, low in moisture, and extremely dense, properties that ensure they puff up perfectly and deliver that signature crunch during extrusion. With annual demand reaching over 100,000 tons, every step from planting to harvest is strictly monitored to guarantee uniform quality and non-GMO compliance. From the moment the seed meets the soil to the crispy snack in your hand, it all starts here. Straight rows of corn, planted with surgical precision, now begin their life cycle, fueled by a critical element: water. On fields reserved exclusively for Cheetos-grade corn, massive center pivot irrigation systems, stretching hundreds of meters long, rotate like giant compasses, distributing water evenly from nearby channels. Pumping up to 2,000 liters per minute, each droplet is regulated by soil moisture sensors to maintain optimal hydration. Because just a little too much or too little water each day could affect the kernel's density and structure, key factors that determine the perfect puff and crunch of every future Cheetos stick. And then, by around July, when the corn silks begin to dry up and the fields turn a golden hue, it's nature's signal that months of careful cultivation are entering the harvest season. The exciting first step in transforming corn into crispy Cheetos. Unlike sweet corn or canned corn, which are valued for their intact ears, the corn used to make Cheetos is selected based on entirely different criteria. What matters isn't the shape, but the kernel's hardness, starch content, and how well it puffs during extrusion, the key to that signature Cheetos crunch. That's why mechanical harvesting is the ideal choice. Fast, efficient, and capable of handling hundreds of hectares in just a few days. Harvesters glide smoothly across the corn rows, using sharp, rotary or serrated blades to cut the stalks close to the ground. The entire plant is drawn into the machine, where counter-rotating augers take over, stripping off the outer leaves, isolating the high-quality ears, and moving them via conveyor into storage bins or directly into transport trucks. Meanwhile, the leftover stalks, husks, and leaves are blown out the back by high-powered fans, falling back onto the field as natural mulch or raw material for composting. A high-capacity harvester can process up to 15 to 20 tons of corn per hour, equal to the output of more than 100 manual laborers working non-stop. And beyond speed, the machine minimizes bruising, preserving the kernel's structural integrity and ensuring maximum freshness. After harvest, the corn is loaded onto large transport trucks, each carrying around 25 tons, and immediately hauled to nearby processing facilities to ensure the kernels remain as fresh and high quality as when they left the field. Before we step into the processing plant, let's pass through the farms, where a semi-manual harvesting method is still in use. Workers walk along the corn rows, skillfully snapping each ear by hand and placing them onto a conveyor belt attached to a trailing tractor. By selecting directly in the field, only ears at the ideal ripeness are picked, ensuring more uniform kernels, a key factor for perfect puffing and crunch in the final product. It's a blend of sharp human judgment and mechanical power, delivering both quality and efficiency. If full mechanical harvesting is like an electric razor clearing a face in seconds, then the semi-manual method is more like a meticulous barber, shaping every detail to perfection. Both methods serve the making of Cheetos, but depending on the farming conditions, corn variety, and technical requirements, each farm chooses the harvesting style that suits them best. As soon as the corn-filled trucks arrive from the fields, their cargo is unloaded into a staging area and fed onto underground conveyor belts. From there, an inclined belt lifts the corn upward and quickly transfers it into the pre-processing zone inside the factory. Here, workers collaborate with automated sensor systems to inspect the incoming corn. Any ears that show signs of pests, bruising, or fail to meet quality standards are rejected. Only those that meet strict criteria for freshness, size, and color are allowed to proceed, ensuring consistent quality for the entire production batch. After passing the inspection stage, the qualified corn ears are fed into an automatic husking machine, where husks and silks are neatly removed within seconds. The machine uses a system of rotating rollers combined with high-speed cutting blades, all controlled by sensors to maintain consistent cutting force, strong enough to strip away the outer layers yet gentle enough to leave the kernels intact. Each machine can process between 3,000 to 5,000 ears of corn per hour, far surpassing the output of any manual labor team. All removed husks and silks are collected and sent to a recycling or composting area, where they're decomposed under controlled temperature and humidity conditions, with the help of microbial additives to accelerate natural breakdown. Immediately after, the corn is transferred into a high-pressure washing chamber, where hundreds of clean water jets spray continuously from multiple angles to flush away dirt and impurities. In the Cheetos production process, once husked and trimmed, the qualified corn ears are fed into a specialized kernel removal machine. This equipment uses a system of rotating blades and compression rollers to separate the kernels from the cob quickly and precisely. Unlike canned corn, where the kernel's shape must remain intact, corn for Cheetos is selected for its uniformity, hardness, and high starch content, crucial qualities for the grinding and extrusion stages that follow. The golden corn kernels are then passed through a continuous washing system, where clean water sprays from multiple angles, combine with vibrating belts to remove leftover husk fragments, light kernels, dust, and any remaining impurities from the separation process. Amazingly, the amount of water used to wash corn in a single day could fill an entire mid-sized swimming pool. But in modern factories, a closed-loop system recycles up to 80% of that water, cutting waste while maintaining strict hygiene standards. After being thoroughly washed, the corn is transferred into a drying chamber set at around 60 to 80 degrees Celsius. This drying process reduces the moisture content to an ideal level, ensuring the kernels are evenly dried, mold-free, and perfectly prepared for the next step, grinding, an essential stage in the making of Cheetos. Once dried, the kernels are fed into an industrial milling system. Inside, high-speed steel rollers crush the corn into a coarse powder known as cornmeal. For Cheetos, the cornmeal must reach just the right consistency, fine enough to ensure ideal expansion during extrusion, creating that signature light and airy crunch that sets Cheetos apart from everything else. Now that the golden corn kernels are fully prepped, the transformation into crispy Cheetos officially begins. Many people assume Cheetos are just another type of popcorn, crunchy and corn-based. But in reality, crafting Cheetos is a far more complex process, starting with precisely refined cornmeal. From the silo, the cornmeal flows through pipes into automatic weighing hoppers, where each batch is measured with pinpoint accuracy and its moisture content is carefully regulated. Starting at around 10%, the moisture level is increased to 15 to 20% by adding water in precise proportions. The mixture is then fed into a large rotary drum for thorough blending, preparing it for the extrusion stage, where the real transformation begins. The extruder is heated to 280 degrees Celsius, and its internal screw spins at high speed, generating intense friction and heat that turns the cornmeal into a thick, pliable dough. Under pressure reaching up to 300 psi, the mixture is forced through a shaping die and instantly puffs the moment it hits the open air, forming the very first shape of a Cheeto. Unlike regular molding, extrusion doesn't just shape the product, it transforms it. The combination of heat and pressure fundamentally alters the corn's structure, allowing it to expand into Cheetos' signature light, crispy, and airy texture. To achieve that iconic crispy texture, the puffed corn pieces are sent into a massive oven towering up to 12 feet high. Operating at around 350 degrees Fahrenheit, the oven bakes the product for about 4 minutes. Inside, the snacks rotate through multiple stacked tiers, like a spiral staircase, ensuring every surface is evenly dried and perfectly crisped. After baking, the puffed corn pieces enter a rotating flavor drum. Here, rice oil is blended with real aged cheddar cheese powder, heated and stirred into a smooth, velvety mixture. This cheesy blend is sprayed from one end of the drum, while the snacks tumble through a 25-foot-long rotating chamber, coating each piece evenly in that bold, signature Cheetos cheese flavor. It's in that final spin where the secret cheese formula is added, the very recipe that has the world hooked on Cheetos without ever realizing why. After completion, the Cheetos are sent through an automated packaging system, where they're weighed, sorted, and sealed into individual bags. With modern technology, each factory can produce thousands of pounds of Cheetos per hour, amounting to thousands of tons of crispy snacks each year. From the classic original to the legendary Flamin' Hot, over 50 different flavors are packaged and rotated depending on the region. Each bag doesn't just hold a snack. It carries its own cheesy cultural identity from one country to another. At the end of the 19th century, chocolate was a privilege reserved for the aristocracy, expensive, luxurious, and far beyond the reach of ordinary people. But Milton Hershey, a farm boy from Pennsylvania, shattered that notion. He believed sweetness should not be defined by class. From a small candy workshop, he built the Hershey's empire, transforming chocolate from a symbol of elitism into a beloved national treat woven into the childhood of America. Hershey's is perhaps the most controversial chocolate bar in the world. For Americans, it's the taste of childhood, sweet, familiar, and irreplaceable. But for many people abroad, especially in Europe, Hershey's has a flavor described as hard to swallow, with a hint of vomit due to the presence of butyric acid. A flavor that divides the world, yet still manages to win millions of hearts over more than a century. Weighing just over 40 grams, a single Hershey's bar contains up to 24 grams of sugar, enough to startle anyone on a diet. Yet it's this excessive sweetness that has become the very reason behind its mass appeal, turning Hershey's into an irresistible symbol of indulgence in the modern world. After years of careful cultivation, when the cacao pods turn golden red and a sweet, mellow aroma fills the air, a new chapter begins, the harvest season. In countries like Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, and Ecuador, where the hot, humid climate and fertile soil create ideal conditions, cacao has become an essential part of life for millions of farmers. This unique tree produces pods that grow directly from the trunk, year-round without a clearly defined season. The main cacao harvest runs from October to March, a crucial window that directly influences the flavor of the final chocolate. Despite being the key ingredient behind world-famous chocolate bars, cacao is still harvested entirely by hand. Farmers use machetes or curved knives mounted on long poles to reach and cut pods from the higher branches. Each cut must be swift and precise. A wrong move can damage the stem, preventing the tree from fruiting in the next season. Did you know that only about 5% of cacao flowers successfully develop into pods? And to harvest just 1 ton of usable cacao, farmers must collect nearly 20,000 pods. In other words, every small chocolate bar carries the weight of an entire tropical harvest, built on sweat, sun, and meticulous labor. After harvesting, each cacao pod is split open using a sharp machete or a sturdy wooden stick. Inside the rough, ridged shell are plump, glossy cacao beans, wrapped in a layer of sticky white pulp that tastes mildly sweet and slightly tangy, with an aroma reminiscent of tropical fruits like mango, pineapple, and passion fruit. Beyond its unique flavor, this pulp is rich in natural sugars, vitamin C, potassium, and antioxidant polyphenols, helping to boost the immune system and aid digestion. In some cacao-growing regions, the pulp is even used to make fermented beverages or processed into natural syrups. Right after being extracted from the pods, cacao beans are quickly collected into bamboo baskets, wooden trays, or banana leaves to begin a pivotal stage, fermentation. This is the bean's transformation phase, from a bland, odorless raw material into the flavorful foundation of rich, enchanting chocolate. Over 5 to 7 days, microorganisms in the white pulp raise the temperature of the bean mass to around 50 degrees Celsius, triggering a cascade of chemical changes that develop its complex flavor. Each day, the beans must be turned to allow them to breathe and to prevent mold. Because even a single oversight can turn a batch from fragrant cacao to something sour and spoiled, like fermented pickles gone wrong. Once the beans have been properly sun-dried, they are packed into thick jute bags, durable and breathable sacks that help preserve bean quality throughout long-distance transport. Each bag weighs approximately 60 to 65 kilograms and is carefully weighed for consistency. Before leaving the farm, each bag is tagged with traceability labels, batch numbers, and farm information. The moment you step into the factory, your senses are immediately hit by the rich aroma wafting from the cacao roasting area, where raw beans are awakened at temperatures reaching 150 degrees Celsius. This critical first step unlocks the beans' signature aroma and removes their natural bitterness. The factory's advanced system can roast up to 5 tons of cacao per hour, ensuring a continuous flow of material for the next stage. After roasting, the beans are cracked open, their shells separated from the nibs, and passed through a multi-layered sifting and air suction system to isolate the nibs. The concentrated essence of cacao, that defines the flavor of real chocolate. Next, the cacao is finely ground using a traditional 3-roll mill, then further refined in a ball mill, where thousands of steel balls collide continuously to create a smooth, velvety mixture. A portion of this is pressed to extract cocoa butter, the prized fat used in later blending stages. After cocoa butter is separated, the mixture is blended with sugar and milk according to Hershey's secret recipe. It's then passed through a series of rollers, where the sugar particles are finely crushed and coated in cocoa butter, forming a rich, dense paste, the foundation of Hershey's unmistakable flavor. Inside the conch machine, the mixture is heated and stirred continuously, triggering the Maillard reaction that gives chocolate its golden brown color and signature aroma. After that, the tempering process carefully cools and reheats the mixture in a controlled cycle, allowing the cocoa butter to crystallize perfectly, resulting in chocolate that's glossy, crisp, and resistant to whitening during storage. After tempering gives the chocolate its ideal smoothness, shine, and structural stability, the mixture moves straight into the molding stage, and that's where the magic moment called Kisses begins at the Hershey factory. The name Kisses comes from the unique motion of the chocolate as it drops onto the conveyor, gently like a kiss landing on cold metal. Once molded, the chocolates enter a long cooling tunnel, so lengthy that its end can't be seen, where they solidify completely. At this stage, a modern laser system scans each Kisses chocolate, ensuring they meet strict quality standards. Each iconic candy, with its flat base and pointed tip, is wrapped in silver foil, fitted with the signature paper plume, and gently released into a guiding chute and spiral conveyor, where every movement is precisely controlled. At the sorting station, a vibrating belt leads the candies to a smart weighing system, where containers are automatically adjusted to ensure exact weight. Once verified, the chocolates are sealed, packaged, and transferred to the boxing line. Robotic arms assist by gently shaking the packages, arranging them in boxes following pre-programmed patterns, then loading them onto pallets, ready to deliver millions of sweet little kisses to chocolate lovers around the world. Right next door, the Hershey chocolate bar production line runs at full capacity. The process begins as molds are heated to the ideal temperature, preparing them to receive streams of liquid chocolate with absolute precision. Immediately after, the molds are transferred into a large-scale cooling system where tightly controlled temperatures allow the chocolate to solidify quickly while remaining silky smooth. Once fully chilled, a gentle mechanical tap bends the molds, much like twisting an ice tray, allowing the bars to release cleanly without any cracks or breakage. The molds are then flipped, and each perfectly formed bar drops softly onto the conveyor belt, ready for inspection and packaging. At the final stage, Hershey's signature wrapping film is fed into high-speed machines that wrap and seal the bars at a rapid pace. The conveyor then rotates and positions each bar precisely so a robotic arm can lift and neatly stack them into trays for boxing. Once complete, the boxes of Hershey bars line up one after another on the main conveyor, ready to leave the factory and begin their journey to shelves around the world. Let's set aside the cold steel assembly lines and rhythmic machines. It's time to step into a dreamlike, sweet world. Hershey's Chocolate World. Located in the town of Hershey, Pennsylvania, this isn't just a tourist destination. It's a chocolate paradise for all ages. Here, you'll immerse yourself in a magical journey that recreates the chocolate-making process, craft your very own personalized candy bars, enjoy interactive games, shop for exclusive limited edition treats, and even catch the scent of chocolate the moment you walk through the door. A delicious adventure awaits. Few would guess that the donut, the sweet symbol of American culture, actually originated from a deep-fried pastry called oliekoek, brought over by the Dutch in the 17th century. According to legend, During a chaotic moment, a stray arrow from the Wampanoag tribe accidentally pierced a pastry held by an immigrant woman, and from that, the donut's signature round hole was born. While unconfirmed, the story adds a fascinating mythical touch to this beloved treat. The sweetness of the donut is so tempting that statistics have shown quite a few drivers have caused accidents simply because they were too distracted enjoying one behind the wheel. So if you're holding a warm, fresh donut, remember, don't let its sweetness make you lose control of the wheel. Every June, endless wheat fields stretching to the horizon turn golden, as if nature itself is announcing the arrival of harvest season. Immediately, massive combine harvesters roar to life, each machine towering nearly 3 meters high and stretching over 10 meters long, moves steadily and purposefully across the perfectly aligned rows of wheat. At the front, razor-sharp blades slice cleanly at the base of the stalks, maximizing yield with every pass. The cut wheat is then sucked into the threshing and separating system, where high-speed rotating drums work tirelessly to strip the kernels from the husks, quickly and efficiently. Next, an advanced filtering system kicks in, removing impurities and retaining only the highest quality grains. A single modern combine harvester can reap over 90 tons of wheat per hour, a productivity level equivalent to that of hundreds of manual laborers working simultaneously. This entire process runs continuously, with almost no downtime, like a perfectly synchronized production line, precise to the second. Once the fields are left with only golden straw, farmers begin the process of collecting it. At this stage, baling machines move into action, rolling along the leftover rows and tightly compressing the straw into neat, square bales. Meanwhile, trucks loaded with freshly harvested wheat take a different route, heading straight to the donut factory, where magic happens and a bit of culinary wizardry transforms nature's golden grains into sweet, enchanting rings of delight. Once delivered to the factory, the wheat goes through a thorough cleaning process using advanced machinery. This step removes impurities, such as straw, soil, stones, and husks, ensuring that only high-quality wheat kernels are retained for donut production. After cleaning, the wheat is fed into roller mills, where the kernels are gradually crushed and ground through multiple stages. The final result is a fine white endosperm, the purest part of the grain, which becomes the key ingredient in creating those golden, delicious donuts. The flour obtained after the milling process enters the first stage of donut production, ingredient mixing. At this point, the flour is combined with eggs, sugar, baking powder, and water, forming the perfect base mixture that gives each donut its signature flavor. All ingredients are precisely measured and fed into a specialized industrial mixer featuring a spiral design. The spiral mixing blades are engineered to mimic hand kneading movements, ensuring the dough is both evenly mixed and properly stretched. Some machines are also equipped with heat sensors to monitor the temperature during mixing, as excessive heat can kill the yeast or compromise the quality of the ingredients. Modern industrial mixers can handle up to 200 kilograms of dough per batch, enough to produce over 4,000 donuts in under 10 minutes. After being mixed to the ideal smooth and elastic consistency, the massive dough is released from the mixer by an automated lifting system, allowing the soft, pliable mass to flow evenly into the feed chute below. This process not only ensures hygiene, but also keeps the production running smoothly, perfectly setting the stage for the sheeting process, a crucial step that determines the shape and rise of each donut once fried. Here, the dough blocks are first neatly trimmed to remove any excess, then rolled out evenly by machines into thin, flat sheets as smooth as paper. The rolling process ensures the dough spreads uniformly, creating a perfect foundation for the next stages of processing. Advanced machinery guarantees each step is precise, consistent, and minimizes material waste, maintaining stable quality from start to finish. prevent the dough sheets from sticking together during the rolling process, a fine layer of dry flour is automatically dusted onto the back of each sheet. This task is carried out by a specialized rotary brush system, typically made from food-grade synthetic materials like polypropylene or nylon. These brushes are usually blue to ensure easy visibility and strict hygiene control. After the dough has been rolled to the precise thickness, it moves on to the cutting station, where sharp cutters rhythmically press down, stamping perfect circles onto the surface. The result is a series of evenly spaced dough rings, each with a hollow center, appearing as if printed by a mold. Every donut is shaped with millimeter-level precision, ready for the golden, crispy frying journey ahead. The entire production line moves in perfect sync, like a finely tuned machine, transforming lifeless sheets of dough into beautiful, uniform donuts. To create the iconic holes, the signature feature of every donut, a specialized punching rod presses down precisely into the center of each dough piece, forming a perfectly round hole. The applied pressure is carefully calibrated to avoid tearing or deforming the dough. The entire process runs continuously, in sync with the automated production line. Right after the hole is punched out, the excess dough around the edges is gently collected by a vacuum-assisted system. This dough is then transferred to a specialized recycling unit, where it is carefully rolled and fed back into the dough mixer to be combined with fresh batches. Reusing this leftover dough not only prevents waste, but also gives new life to what might have been discarded, helping to create donuts that are consistently uniform and perfect, right down to the very last one. Freshly cut donuts are carefully transported to the proofing station via a conveyor system. The donut dough is then automatically placed into molds on trays with ventilation holes, allowing proper air circulation before they are submerged in the frying oil. The donut pieces glide smoothly along the conveyor belt, carefully guided toward the frying station. Each piece maintains its shape as it moves steadily through the automated system, ensuring they arrive perfectly positioned for the next crucial step, being gently lowered into the hot oil. This precise movement helps preserve the quality and consistency of every donut before frying. And then, the magical moment arrives. The automated conveyor system gently lowers the donuts into massive vats of hot oil, heated to between 170 and 190 degrees Celsius. The system meticulously fries and flips each donut to ensure both sides are evenly cooked within 45 to 90 seconds. On modern production lines, these conveyors act as skilled assistants, taking over the flipping process to help each donut achieve that perfect golden crispness. Inside the giant fryers, you'll witness an enchanting transformation. The small pieces of dough gradually puff up like fluffy pillows, thanks to the interaction between leavening agents and internal moisture, a spectacular rise into irresistible golden brown donuts. Properly fried donuts feature a distinctive white ring around the center. Not a flaw, but a hallmark of a well-cooked donut. This pale band indicates the part that didn't directly touch the oil during expansion. If the entire donut turns uniformly golden, it may have been fried for too long or at too high a temperature. Hot oil is the key partner in giving donuts their golden crispness, but if not properly managed, it can become a flavor-ruining culprit, making the donuts greasy and stripping away their light, delicate texture. That's why removing excess oil is a crucial step in the process. Once perfectly fried, the delicious donuts are transferred to another conveyor belt that leads to a specially designed cooling system. This system, equipped with tiny perforations, helps control and remove any residual oil left in each donut. Once the donuts are perfectly fried and drained of excess oil, they continue their journey along the conveyor belt to the automated glazing chamber. Here, each donut passes through a sweet glaze curtain, a continuous, flowing cascade of warm glaze that gently coats the entire surface of each donut like a sugary waterfall. Thanks to the precise design and steady flow, the glaze is evenly distributed. Not too thick to make the donut overly sweet, and not too thin to lose that signature melt-in-your-mouth sensation. The glaze is typically made from a blend of sugar, water, vanilla, or condensed milk, and sometimes includes natural colors or flavors like chocolate, strawberry, or caramel, creating a variety of unique donut styles. Any excess glaze flows off the sides of the conveyor system and collects in a container below, where it is recirculated and used again for the next batch of donuts. In addition to the traditional sugar glaze, donuts can be finished with a wide variety of delicious coatings, with chocolate being one of the most popular choices. Chocolate-covered donuts offer a rich, indulgent flavor that captivates sweet lovers of all ages. As the conveyor moves, each donut passes through a thin layer of melted chocolate. The process is precisely designed to ensure an even, smooth coating. Machines either dip the bottom or apply the chocolate from below, allowing full coverage. As a result, the donuts are finished with a glossy chocolate layer that's as appealing in taste as it is in appearance. After the glaze is partially dried, the donuts move on to the colorful topping station, where the decoration magic begins. Here, the conveyor gently carries each donut through an automated topping system designed to add the finishing touch. Thousands of tiny, colorful sugar pieces, known as rainbow sprinkles, are evenly sprinkled from above or from both sides, sticking to the still slightly wet glaze. They create a festive, carnival coat that's light, crispy, sweet, and vibrant. The system can be easily adjusted to use shredded coconut, chocolate flakes, crushed nuts, or themed toppings. With this final step, each donut becomes a sweet little masterpiece that delights both the eyes and the taste buds. After the toppings are added, the sweet donuts move on to the inspection and packaging process. From start to finish, machines handle almost the entire donut-making operation, but in this final stage, it's the human touch that puts the finishing mark on the journey. Skilled workers carefully inspect each donut before sending them to the automated packaging system. There, machines wrap each donut in colorful plastic bags and seal them to preserve their moisture and freshness. The packing process is fast, yet highly precise, ensuring that every donut is carefully sealed. These protective wrappers not only help maintain the donuts' soft texture and delicious flavor, but also preserve their just-made freshness, ready to delight taste buds wherever they go. From humble flour to golden perfection, and now, dressed in vibrant packaging, each donut is not only perfectly preserved, but also ready to hit the shelves, awaiting the moment it delights the taste buds of millions. Ending the journey of creating the perfect donuts, there are still countless fascinating things waiting to be discovered, with many unique secrets and technologies you may have never known before. Let's continue this journey to explore these wonderful wonders more deeply, opening up exciting and creative stories ahead.
In the fast food kingdom, the hamburger reigns supreme, wearing a crown of rich, melted cheese and ruling over the entire fast food empire. In the United States alone, the birthplace of the ultimate meaty burger, more than 50 billion burgers are consumed annually, making this dish an irreplaceable culinary icon. On the fast food battlefield, giants like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's dominate the global market. McDonald's alone serves nearly 70 million customers every day, and every single second, they churn out approximately 75 hamburgers for hungry customers worldwide. But to keep the hamburger empire running, high-quality ingredients and top-notch recipes aren't enough. Behind the scenes, an army of industrial machines ensures that every bun, patty, and drop of sauce is made with absolute precision. The process of making hamburgers in a factory is like a technological masterpiece, where every step is meticulously designed to create the perfect, mouth-watering burger. Everything begins with basic ingredients like flour, yeast, water, sugar, salt, butter, and eggs, which are fed into a giant industrial mixing machine. This advanced machine is equipped with dual spiral kneading blades that ensure the ingredients are evenly mixed, creating a well-balanced dough. It's like having a master chef adjusting every knead to craft a perfectly textured dough. Initially, the mixer runs at a low speed, allowing the flour to absorb water gradually, activating the yeast and developing gluten. As the gluten strengthens, the dough becomes more elastic and smooth. The kneading speed then increases to achieve a consistent texture, ensuring that the final buns are soft and fluffy, not too dense or too dry. After mixing, the dough is transferred to large trays and moved into a temperature-controlled proofing chamber. The system maintains a temperature of 30 to 35 degrees Celsius and a humidity level of 70%, creating the ideal environment for yeast activation. Once the dough has risen to the desired level, it moves to an automated dough cutting system. This machine precisely divides the large dough mass into smaller, equal portions, ensuring uniform bun sizes. The dough pieces are then passed through a shaping machine, where rolling drums and gentle pressure mold them into perfectly round buns. If the buns require toppings like sesame seeds or grains, an automated spraying system evenly sprinkles them onto each bun. Finally, the shaped dough is transferred to the baking conveyor, ready for the final stage. The dough balls are then sent into an industrial conveyor oven, using convection heat technology to bake at a controlled temperature of 200 degrees Celsius for 10 to 15 minutes. Once baked to golden perfection, the buns pass through a cooling system with strong air circulation, ensuring they remain crispy on the outside, yet soft inside. After cooling, automated laser-guided slicing machines cut the buns into two equal halves. The sliced buns continue along the conveyor belt, heading to the assembly line. A hamburger wouldn't be complete without its juicy beef patty. The patty production process starts with a careful selection of meat cuts to ensure quality. Large slabs of meat are sliced into smaller portions and placed onto a conveyor system, which feeds them into an industrial meat grinder. This high-powered machine grinds the meat into a fine, consistent texture. Next, the ground meat is moved to a seasoning mixer, where spinning paddles thoroughly blend it with ingredients like salt, pepper, garlic powder, and other secret spices. This step ensures even distribution of flavor before the meat is shaped into patties. Once the meat mixture is ready, it enters an automated patty shaping machine. Using air compression technology, the machine forms the ground meat into uniform, circular patties with precise thickness and weight. Equipped with weight sensors, the machine ensures that each patty meets strict size requirements, guaranteeing a consistent product before moving on to the next step. patties are immediately transferred to a blast-chilling freezing system, where freezing air at -35°C to -40°C rapidly lowers the temperature. This process locks in moisture, preserves texture, and prevents bacterial growth. Once cooled, the patties are stored at 18°C to maintain freshness before packaging or final assembly. With the buns and patties ready, they can either be packaged separately and sent to fast food restaurants or assembled into full burgers in the factory. At fast food chains, burgers are heated up and served fresh when ordered. They are often paired with fries, soft drinks, or salads, creating a complete and satisfying meal. For premium burgers, bacon, pickles, or specialty sauces might be added for extra flavor. Before potatoes can become fries, they need a good scrub. Freshly harvested potatoes arrive at the factory covered in dirt because, well, they grow underground. They go through a powerful washing system where jets of water blast away soil and debris. Next up, steam peeling. Imagine getting a facial, but way more intense. The potatoes are exposed to high-pressure steam, which loosens their skins. Then, a set of mechanical rollers gently rub off the peels, leaving behind smooth, clean potatoes ready for the next step. Now it's time for the real transformation. The peeled potatoes are sent through high-speed cutting machines equipped with razor-sharp blades. These machines can slice thousands of potatoes per hour, ensuring they all have that signature French fry shape. Depending on the brand and style, the fries can be thin, thick, crinkle-cut, or even curly. Ever noticed how French fries always have that perfect golden hue? That's thanks to blanching. The freshly cut fries take a quick dip in hot water to remove excess sugars and starch, preventing them from turning too dark when fried. After their warm bath, they go through a drying tunnel to remove surface moisture. Now, for the most crucial step, frying. The fries take a plunge into hot oil for just a few seconds, enough to partially cook them and give them a slight crunch. But they're not ready to eat just yet. Immediately after frying, they're flash frozen at super low temperatures. This locks in their texture and flavor, ensuring they remain crispy when finally cooked to perfection at your favorite fast food joint. Once frozen, the fries are sorted, inspected, because nobody wants a weird-looking fry, and packaged into those familiar bags you see in grocery stores and restaurants. From there, they're shipped out, ready to fulfill their destiny, making people happy.